What's up, PSM? I'm Mason. I'm one of your E-Team leaders. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, shoot a quick video on the topic of mapping, which is a strategy that we as E-Team are really pushing our community to use kind of in this weird season. And it's awesome because it's a strategy that will be helpful specifically in this season, but is really effective in every season. And so you may be asking yourself, well, what is mapping? So mapping is a strategy that's used often on the mission field and elsewhere, and the kind of fundamental idea behind mapping is taking the locations that you are at often, those places that you dwell, those kind of spaces of peace and consistency in your schedule, and turning them into mission fields. And what that looks like is getting to know the people around you and making sure that they know your name, your God, and your story, and that you know their name, their God, and their story. And the goal between that exchange is that you would develop a relationship with them that would enable their God to be your God and your God to be their God. That you would pursue the same Jesus, just kind of in a missional relationship, and that looks like loving someone and just being their friend, and over time sharing the gospel with them, kind of doing this relational evangelism thing that is really the most effective way that we share the gospel. So what that looks like practically is a couple of things. On the one hand, we want triads to be going out, and as you do your triad in the same location every week, we want you to be spending time, on the one hand, obviously doing the accountability piece of triads. That's super important. Kind of check in, how are you doing in community? How are you doing in obedience? How are you doing in your time with Jesus? How are you being intimate with the Father? But with that too, incorporating alongside that a time to just interact with the people around you and get to know them, go have fun with them, go meet them where they are. The kind of like cool picture that I think really communicates what mapping is I think that everybody moves through their day and they see people often that they recognize the faces of, but they've never had an interaction with. And maybe they're like sitting next to you like all the time in Pinewood, or maybe they're they're in the next row over in your English class, or maybe they're working out at the Slick at the same time as you are every single week. Whatever it is, our hope would be that you would identify those people and form relationships with them. That's kind of in essence what mapping is. It's saying, hey, I'm going to that place to I'm going to be in that place. I'm going to be present there, and I'm going to be present not just in that place, but to the people in that place. In the same way that a treasure map kind of leads you from point A to a treasure, mapping ideally helps you take the faces that you see every day and turn those into real gospel opportunities, right? Gospel conversations that lead to us discovering the treasure in the field that Jesus talks about, right? The one that's worth selling everything for. So our hope would be that this week you would take your triad and you would go and you would do your normal accountability, but it wouldn't just be y'all sitting down in a coffee shop and teaching one another, but that you would, if you go to a coffee shop or if you go to campus or wherever, that you would go meet people where they are and begin to know their stories, and that they would begin to know yours. So I'm encouraged by y'all. I see a lot of you reaching out really well, especially to freshmen. Let's get after this. I think that the campus could really be changed by this effort. So yeah.